This video has three parts. Part 1 for research, Part 2 for rubric hunting, and Part 3 for final selection of the remedy. So let's start with the Part 1 research. Experiment in homeopathy by Professor Dr. S. Praveen Kumar Sir.
Crotalus horridus is very effective against HIV virus. They utilize this reverse transcriptase and they transcribe RNA into DNA. So if you can stop this reverse transcriptase enzyme with your drug, then naturally you can't get DNA and you can't get virus being multiplied. So this has been established by the IACT in their experiment.
The viruses which are called reverse, they have reverse transcriptase enzymes, and we have done a preliminary screening of these extracts, and we found that the snake venom that Dr. Praveen had supplied us to be having a very good activity. It's stopping the growth, inhibiting the enzyme. We were not expecting snake, because we know snake venoms are for only either neurotoxic or they are for hematotoxic. But the observation that they are inhibiting the virus growth was new for us.
Now Part 2, it's rubric hunting from an Indian repertory which gives a tough competition to traditional repertories of other countries. Let's start its rubric hunting from KEYNOTES Modern and Classic Repertory, world's first Hahnemannian Repertory based on the revised and upgraded edition of Allen Keynote, KEYNOTES Advanced and Complete, Concept of Modern Medical Science and the Method of Organon of Medicine with colorful gradings. Now I am opening the contents page and looking for the chapter 16 Hematology, which is present on the page number 254 under part 2, particular systemic for therapeutic approach in this super specialty department. Now I am going on the page number 254. This is a hematology chapter which is related to the complaints of blood. Here I am looking for the rubric blood and sub-rubric poisoning. There are two medicines under it, Crotalus horridus and pyrogenum. Let's cross-check them from its source book, revised and updated edition of 125 years old Allen Keynote textbook in the original format, Keynotes Advanced and Complete Materia, Medica and Lecture, to confirm the remedy after repertorization with correct interpretation. In Crotalus horridus medicine, you can see here in allied department, the hematology chapter is mentioned, which is related to the KMCR, yani Keynotes Modern and Classic Repertory. Here I am searching the blood poisoning characteristic sign symptom, and you can see it under the second last paragraph in the original format of Allen Keynote, the last sign and symptom on the first page, blood poisoning, and pyrogenum medicine is mentioned here under the bracket. Let's cross check it in the pyrogenum medicine. Here you can see in allied department, the hematology chapter is not given because this medicine does not produce any blood poisoning pathology or pathogenicity which is related to the viral toxicity. If you read the whole remedy and understand its drug pathogenicity. Now part 3, the final selection of the remedy with correct interpretation. Here we have a strong pathological reason for the selection of the remedy Crotalus horridus. The blood poisoning sign symptom is mentioned directly under the Crotalus horridus medicine in the textbook of Materia Medica in the original format of Allen Keynote, which is based on the drug total. Whereas blood poisoning has not been mentioned directly under the pyrogenum. Today we will interpret the reason behind it, but at first we have to know that what is the blood poisoning. Let's try to understand and reach to the conclusion, because there are many hidden treasures which have not been decoded yet. Due to misinterpretation and lack of knowledge after tracking granted for the allied subjects in homeopathy. Pyrogenum has drug pathogenicity power to produce sign symptom of septicemia because it has been made from the product of sepsis, which is produced by bacterial infection. While Protellus horridus is made from the poison of the rattlesnake, which helps to produce some toxic enzyme similar to the hemotoxic in nature that can stop the replication of the viruses.
These reactions are performed by enzymes. An enzyme is a protein that catalyzes a chemical reaction. It initiates the reaction, speeds up the reaction's progress, and makes sure the outcome is always the same.
That's why the knowledge of disease is very important on both level, dynamic and diagnostic for the therapeutic purpose. With the knowledge of medicine to understand the drug pathogenicity power for the better understanding and correct interpretation of signs and symptoms of true materia medica like allopathic doctors. Most of the stalwarts were successful allopaths because they had a strong knowledge of allied subjects. And I understood it earlier during my second year graduation of BHMS in Kolkata. Since that time, I always focused on learning like them, and for that purpose, I took tuition for all my allied subjects and clinical training after graduation under them. That's why the final differentiation of the remedies on the basis of these three skills, the knowledge of disease, the knowledge of medicine, and the knowledge of the correct method we employ. That is guided by Dr. Hahnemann in Organon of Medicine, which leads us to the final selection of the remedy Crotellus horridus. And always it has been said that the final selection of the remedy must be based on the knowledge of Materia Medica after repertorization, especially source book and original textbook of Materia Medica in original format. And if an repertory has source book which is based on the original format of textbook of Materia Medica, then the confirmation of the remedy will be very easy and authentic for the final selection of the remedy to avoid vague rubric or sub-rubric or medicines like other repertories. And this is the first and only Indian repertory made in India which has its own source book. In original format, the textbook of Materia Medica in revised and updated edition with 15 new updates, the Allen Keynote. Only authentic content, no adulteration.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and press the bell icon button.